This guy is sick, and his opponent is also pretty darn sick, especially in online tournaments. It is going to be Tefel, and of course he's a Zerg player that many people will know. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to turn out for these two guys. Who's going to, come out ahead, because only one can make it through into the semi-finals.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. So, the first map of this best of 5 series today is going to be Polar Night, as we can see. And we have Sjaak in the bottom and Tefel in the top. Tefel, of course, playing for the team Dignitas, and Sjaak playing for EC Visualize. And yeah, you are absolutely right. A lot of people have been wondering, what is this guy and what is this here? That's what I'm wondering about right now.
You know what? You probably didn't see this game between. Oh, don't. Sorry.
Who is that?
It's Russian casters.
Oh, okay.
You probably didn't see our games between Demarga, the first set of series between Demarga and Sjaak, because Sjaak, he did this. It's crazy. He's going to build a forge here in just a second.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. He's going to... Oh, he's going to use the Zealots to cover for the probe to build cannons?
Kind of. Like, he's... Oh, the thing is, this Overlord sees this probe coming in from a bit of a funny angle, but what he's going to try and do is essentially just wall off between the geyser and the kind of geyser and like the wall, and then he's going to use the Zealot to kind of plug parts of the wall as well. So here you go, the wall's going to start coming up, but Tefel, he's moving a drone down here, and let's see how he can react to this.
Well, this is really innovative, I have to say. The first Zealot is on the way. It's being chrono boosted even. The pylon is just about to finish, so cannons can start going down. It's actually lining up to be perfectly, he can put down the cannon and then use the Zealot to cover for the probe and build another pylon if he wants to. He'll have to cancel the first one, though. Yeah,
this cannon has to be cancelled. He's losing a bit of time here, but as long as he buys enough time to keep the pylon alive, that's all he needs. But I think Tefel, he's doing a good job. I mean, this pylon is getting very, very low. Here's the Zealot. I don't know if the pylon's going to survive Balanoir. It is just though. But there's the Lings and.
Oh, there's the wall off. But yeah, it's a second pylon. The Zealot and the probe will have to be microed to no eternity, to no end, because this is that probe and the Zealot is everything that's keeping this alive. And Tefel knows that he cannot. Yeah, and the second Zealot comes in. Wow, this is actually a really strong cheese. Cancel on the natural hatchery.
Yeah, this is kind of working. I was going to say, losing the probe, is it going to work? But he's got a cannon down. Is that cannon like on a tilt because the cannon's tilted?
It looks like it is.
That's quite amusing.
It's a little bit.
The cannon's tilted. Sjaak, he's got essentially a wall off here. He's Tefel. How's he responding? Well, I thought he was going to throw down a base, but he actually starts up a roach roaring. He's going to go straight into roaches, and I think that's a good way to kind of counter this. But at the same time, I mean, 2 cannons, 2 Zealots. I mean, obviously it's only the 2 cannons he really has to worry about with roaches. But
the follow-up to this from Sjaak is really interesting. He's taken a gas at his main base, and he's continuing to make probes at this time.
I think he's going to go try and get up to Warp Gate.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he just wants to get a couple of Stalkers out to reinforce this, and then get Warp Gate, because he knows that he hasn't seen any Lings, so he has to know that Tefel probably will be getting roaches. Oh, Sjaak is lagging a little bit. That is unfortunate.
Hopefully, gets sorted in a second. He's all fixed, and we are going to set off again here. So Tefel says go, and we'll see what happens. I mean, roaches are on the way, but 2 roaches probably won't break through a cannon, especially if these 3 Zealots continuing to harass. And these 3 Zealots try and chase down some Lings here, and now going for the Queen again. But here come the roaches, and I mean, this is when these Zealots really should start getting out and just holding the wall a little bit more. They're gonna lose one of them, and the second one very low on HP, but gets a couple of Lings. So this is really weird right now because Sjaak is Cybernetic course finished off. He's on 1 base. Surely he's going to Chrono Boost out his Warp Gate, but then what does he do? Like, I mean, it's kind of weird. He actually prefers our Stargate. I kind of like this because Void Rays are going to be very strong.
Yeah, definitely are. I mean, Tefel wants to get as many roaches out as possible to break out of this contain, so he's not going to be wasting his money on queens. And he's only on 1 base economy. I mean, he could build a queen if he wanted to, but he kind of wants to get as many units out as possible. The mothership core is on the way as well, and that will or might become problematic for Tefel to deal with as well.
Yeah, well, these roaches are going to break out here, and they're going to start targeting down the cannons pretty quickly. Micro and his roaches back, doesn't want to lose them. if he kills off these cannons, he's got a big possibility for a counterattack, apart from the fact, at least he thinks he does, but there is going to be a Void Ray in the sky to defend, so that's what Tefel is probably thinking of doing here, you know, counterattacking a bit with these roaches while he expands, but I mean, with a Void Ray, them roaches, they just won't do anything, and if they're an overcharge, you know, it won't be able to be used on the natural for quite some time, but if it needs to be, it can be used on a main base.
Yeah, Tefel probably... Well, I don't know, he's going to kill the gateway and the forge here, so if Sjaak wants to start laying down cannons at it... Oh, he misplaced the pylon at the natural as well, he just now cancelled it. That is really unfortunate, because that will delay his wall even further, and once this forge goes down, he will have to make a new one if he wants to build cannons in order to defend his natural base. And all in all, I don't think he's in such a good spot right now, Sjaak, because he hasn't even started his warp gate yet, believe it or not. And Tefel, he's getting a fast layer, he's on 2 gases, he's taking his natural expansion, he can transition off of this, and he's still on a really good worker count here, 30 to 22 probes, so I don't know, I mean, has this kind of backfired for Sjaak? What do you think?
I don't know, I mean, obviously the Zerg doesn't have much production here for quite some time, but I mean, this Void Ray pushing these units back, the Queen will be a pretty strong defense here. There's 2 Queens out, so you can pull his second Queen forward a little bit to help defend this. I mean, the thing is, he doesn't really have a strong follow-up. You know, he's not got a lot of gateways coming to try and abuse the production of the Zerg.
And look at this from Tefel. We have a Hydra then coming up. I really like this choice. He knows that Sjaak is on low tech, and he only has a Stargate. I mean, he can't have anything else. So if he goes with a quick Hydra Ling aggression after he saturates his natural base, he will break him, I think, or he might. He's already on 4 gases, Wardy, and 10 drones on the natural mining minerals. He can go for a 2-base push off of this. But an Oracle is coming into the main base to even things out a little bit.
Yeah, these workers are going to start going down, and the worker count will even up a bit. How much damage will Sjaak do? He's on about 6-7 worker kills here, and he's going to go after a couple more. And he's going to get even a couple more from gas, if not 3 more. And wow, 10 worker kills with this Oracle.
Such micro.
I mean, Tefel just wasn't in position with his Queen. He, you know, he just had it kind of on the wrong side of the hatchery.
All right.
Well,
here we go. We have first two Hydras out on the field
across the map. Yeah. It's kind of tough, because is this really going to work? Sjaak's actually chrono boosting out an Immortal. He's chrono boosting out a Sentry. It's interesting. He's going to plug the hole in his wall with a pylon right now. I think he's got plenty of time. He's got units to buy plenty of time. I mean,
that's true.
The roaches, the shreds, the Void Ray, and he's got Phone Overcharge too, and Force Fields if he needs them. He's got plenty here to.
And he's getting a Robo Bay. I mean, now that I look at it, Sjaak is actually on 2-base economy. The worker counts are really comparable. I mean, that Oracle, it did such good work for Sjaak, dropping down the worker count for Tefel. And you know, 2-base Zerg versus 2-base Protoss, that's never a good spot to be in as a Zerg. Look at this, Tefel.
Oracle's back in the natural now. He's got 5 more worker kills. When this little attack comes in, but Phone Overcharge, you know, it's going to turn this away very quickly.
It is, and Tefel did not even want to waste any drones on getting Spore Crawlers at his mineral lines, so as a result of that, he might lose even more workers to this Oracle. In fact, he already did lose 5 of them, 5 more than he had before. That we are at 16 drone kills right now. Now Sjaak, he cannot fight this army head on. He knows that. He just does not have enough units. The sentries are keeping him alive for the time being. And he needs a little bit more here. He does have the Colossus there. Yeah.
The Colossus is basically going to be the game changer, because once that Colossus comes out, with force fields, them Hydras, they're not going to even last a few seconds on the field. Oracle doing a good job continuing to move around here, going to spot the third base, and you know, this is important, continuing his scouting, knowing what his opponent's up to, how heavily is he committing to this 2-base play, and as you can see right now, it's, you know, he's moving off of 2 bases quite quickly. Now, Sjaak, is he going to try and take a 3rd base, or is he going to go for timing? Because I feel like he's in a good position to go for timing.
I think so. And he's on good saturation as well. He's adding on 3 additional gateways in his main base. The thing is, the thermal lances are not yet completed, but you don't really need them. If you have enough firepower, the only thing you really need to do is fry all the Zerglings and the Hydras.
Oracle just got 5 more worker kills.
But I mean, it served well before it died.
It served very well. 20 worker kills is ridiculous, and it's the whole reason that Sjaak and Tefel are pretty even on units right now. Another Phone Overcharge used here. but I get the feeling that
You know-
Tefel's just going to commit to these gateways. A single Colossi. I don't know if Sjaak can move out into this still with this good a concave.
Well, with force fields, he could cut up this little force quite nicely, and he does have a probe to the south of Tefel's third base. So you know, in the very least, he can throw down a pylon, which he's right now doing, and in the very least, he can warp in zealots later on to try and harass if he feels like Tefel will be continuously pressuring him at his front. He's getting a hallucinated Phoenix. He really needs to know what is up. And Tefel, really, the only point of that pressure was to get this third base up. And as you said before, Sjaak might go for a push.
I mean, he's definitely he's just added on 5 more gateways here. It takes him up to about 9.
Wow.
Well, I'm not sure how many it takes 70 because he's lost a couple, but he's got 3 Colossi. He's got 2 Immortals in this army as well, and a bunch of sentries. So you know, there's no way he's not going to move out with this. He's not going to take a third base. And you know, the army of Tefel against 3 Colossi, it's pretty weak. He's trying to go up to Hive. You know, he's throwing down an infestation pit. He's not recognizing the lack of a third base here, and Overlord's trying to move into position now, but, I mean, he's got no idea about this movement up the right-hand side of the map. He doesn't even have the towers.
Yeah, he does not. He has a decent creep spread, but now he sees no third base, and this should trigger non-stop unit production. The problem is, there are quite a lot of sentries with this, 8 sentries to be exact, high on energy, most of them, as they've been alive for a long time. 3 Colossi. The problem for Tefel, no Vipers with this, and we know how fights against 3 Colossus with plenty of force fields go without Vipers, right?
These force fields could be signaling on the right-hand side, and there they go down. And, you know, just this army just cannot engage these 3 Colossi. They're going to do so much damage, the 2 Immortals as well. However, it's looking as though, you know, Sjaak's maybe running out of a few units to tank with, and if this army does connect with the techie units, they will fall fairly quickly, but there's just too much firepower right now, and Sjaak continues to move on through this third base evacuated from Tefel, who's desperately making more Roaches and Hydras.
You know, I mean, Tefel could push this back, maybe. There are only 2 sentries, two force fields available. All the sentries have died, but still, those 3 Colossi, Jesus.
It's just huge. Yeah, they do so much, and now he's actually trapping units in. GG